Hey guys, Itewan Sammy here, King of Gangnam Sammy, back in the house for you tonight. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about lifestyle. We're going to talk about savings. We're going to talk about the mistakes that I made. I want to say thank you to a few people who have commented and asked questions about my last video, advice for 20 somethings, that I did last couple weeks ago. What I would have told myself and why I didn't do it. They asked me like why I didn't do what I said I was doing, and I'm gonna give those reasons today. Today's video titled Why I Never Saved Money. What was it in my life that caused me to not have any money when I arrived in Korea at the age of 39, 40 years old, 40 years old. When I arrived 12 years ago, I arrived with barely any money. Having sold off everything in my life, having worked as an executive at the phone company, making killer money, why did I end up with nothing? Well, here's the story. So I gotta look at my timeline because it is 35 years of life that I gotta talk about. Anyway, please, I do really thank those of my friends and my subscribers who are liking, commenting, and asking questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you like what I'm doing, please just click the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Just click the like button. It really helps get my video out there to the YouTube algorithm. So anyway, let me just turn down this music here a little bit. All right, so why I never saved money? Well, I'm fiscally irresponsible. That's the number one thing. I don't like to, maybe I don't like to save money? I don't know. Well, let me tell you my story. Okay, so let's see. 1988, I'm 18 years old, graduating high school, go to college, do all of that stuff. Wasn't really a university college kind of guy. Didn't really like it. Wasn't my thing. So I just worked stupid jobs. I was in the entertainment industry. I was in the bar business, and I kind of liked that glamour. It paid my bills. I wasn't thinking about saving at that time in my life. I was thinking about girls, drinking, and partying, which any 20-year-old would. So between the ages of 18 and 27-ish, 28, I was working in bars and clubs and stuff like that. And I was doing daytime work as a telemarketer. I have to remember back in those days, telemarketing was a big deal. And I was working for phone companies. All right. So I was selling telecom products, and I was making killer money back in those days because it wasn't salary, it was commission, and I was killing it in sales. I loved it because it was easy work. I was good at it, and I was having fun because afterwards I would go out and party at the clubs. In 97, I met a girl who I would eventually marry and divorce, and that's what ended my club life. And I started focusing on my career. I entered that relationship with some debt, no savings. She had good credit, so we, when we got married and got together, bought a house, did all of those wonderful things that you do. I think in October of 2004, we bought our first home. And then 3 years later, we bought our second house in Toronto. Shortly after buying our second house in Toronto, I changed my job. I actually quit my job. And that's why we moved to Toronto, is because I changed my job, and then 6 months after that, I quit that job. I wasn't happy with it. Shortly after that, in 2008, I got divorced, and 2009 is when I arrived in Korea. So what happened between 88 and 2008, those 20 years? Well, I had a good job, and it was always, the money was always coming in. So it was always, oh, we'll pay it next time. I like to live the good life. I like to go on first class vacations. I like to go and spend money that I didn't have because I had good credit. So when we got divorced, there was a huge debt. We had to sell the houses. So we lost money on the houses, sell the cars, 2 cars, 2 cars, 2 houses, in the middle of a recession. Lost a ton of money lost. And whatever money I had left, I used to pay off the debt that we had acquired. Rather than pay her alimony, I just paid off the debt, and that was agreeable to her. And when I came to Korea, I came with not a lot of money, enough to set me up in Korea, but then I had to work. Now, what did I do over the last 12 years or 10 years? I just lived. I spent money to enjoy life. And every year I would have a target that I wanted to achieve, like a vacation. I knew exactly how much it was going to cost, so I worked only enough to earn that amount and then have a tiny little buffer, but never enough thinking about retirement or anything like that. That only started after COVID kicked in and after I realized that the club life ends. And it took me 50 years to figure that out. It took me 35 years of being an adult. Since I was, because it happened. I mean, I should have realized it a longer time ago, but I was always going from one club to another. One club would close, I'd go to another one. But when COVID closed all of them, I really had nothing. And when they open up again, I doubt I'll be able to jump back into where I was. I'm too tired. It's been a couple of years. I've lost all those contacts. I can probably try, and I probably will, because I'm going to get phone calls. I'm getting the calls all the time. Sam, are you still doing the promotions? And I'm like, yeah, I'm still doing it. People are still calling me. It's funny, I still get phone calls from people or text messages from people asking, is the club open? Is this open? Because I'm known as that guy, right? So, basically, why I never saved money, I always thought there was another payday coming. There's one piece of advice that I would give to you is, especially nowadays, it's so easy to do. Take a month off. Take a month off socializing. Don't spend any money. 0. Don't order in. Don't buy anything. Live like a hermit for 1 month. All of that money, put it away. The next month, just spend for 3 weeks. And take 1 week off. And then the next month, take a month off. Then the next month, only party for 2 weeks. And just keep doing that until you can, only like once every 2 weeks you need to go out. And then you get used to not spending money. I'm spending money because I have in my budget an entertainment budget. But because I don't go out anymore, there's no more clubs or bars, that budget has dropped so much. I'm spending it on food. Okay, food. I spent last weekend $300 on a steak dinner. I could have spent much more, but it's just whatever. If I go out tonight, I'll probably spend $300 to $500. That's in my budget for this month, but that's my whole budget on one night, right? And I'm talking, that's my entertainment and my food budget. My eating out budget. I put about $300 to $500 for that, entertainment and food. So if I use that up, I'm not going to tap into my savings to order more food. For the rest of this month, I won't spend any money. So you got to set yourself up with a goal or a yearly target. What do I want to buy? What do I want to get? Now you have to remember that when I left Canada, I left with no credit cards. So for the last 10 years, I lived in Korea with no credit. I had only the cash I had in my hand. Now I have credit because I applied for it and I got it because I had a plan prior to this that I was going to raise my credit score and get a mortgage loan. But that has changed. But I'm still keeping the credit score because I worked for it. Why not? And I did it right. I did it the right way. The way my mother taught me or told me about when I first got my first credit card is use it for the points, for the credit score. Pay it off right away. And I'm used to that because for the last 10 years, I lived on cash. I wanted something, I bought it for cash. I wanted to buy one of those body friend massage chairs. They're like $5,000. In my budget, I had it where I was going to go walk in with the cash and buy it. I was going to put it on my credit card to get the points, but then I would pay it off right away with the cash. So, I mean, credit cards work a little bit different here in Korea. You can run a balance, but generally it's, you pay it off on the month. But I think it was my lifestyle. That's why I didn't save money. And I wasn't thinking about the future. And I'm single, I have no kids, I have no debt, I have no responsibilities. That's another reason why. Up until 10 years ago when I came to Korea, I had debt. I had huge debt. We're talking 6 figures worth of debt. But I was making tons of money. So for me to service that debt was nothing. It was the cost of living. It didn't make a big deal to me to pay, interest. But these days, for the last 10 years, I lived purely on cash, and I didn't have a credit card or anything. So these days, now that I do, I'm still doing what I did for the last 10 years, what I'm used to doing. And that's the thing, you got to get used to doing it. It's got to become normal. It takes, 4 to 6 weeks for it to become normal. And I think that this is the perfect time to do that. We're living in a lockdown situation. Take advantage of it. Get a home gym, do online stuff. That's what I've been doing to entertain myself. But it's not easy. It's not easy. You gotta work at it. And that's what I'm telling everybody now is, don't lose this opportunity. We are in a very, very unique opportunity right now where because we're in lockdown, we can spend less and we can, I am personally taking the lockdown seriously. I am staying in to protect myself. And I've spoken about this before because if I get sick, I lose my job. Okay, I'm a part-timer. I'm not a full-timer. I'm a part-timer. I lose that job. And there goes my, I don't get unemployment. I have savings. Well, now I do. Okay, but it'll take me a while to get back on my feet, and I'll eat through my savings in the next 4 months. So take advantage of this situation, lock yourself down, stop spending your money and save it. Because when we come out of this in a year or 6 months or 3 months or wherever long it takes, you're going to want to go back and splurge and spend and get back into that lifestyle that you missed. Don't. They always say you can never catch up on sleep. You can't catch up on the life that you lost. Okay? It doesn't work like that. You'll get used to living this life that try to keep it going. Focus your energy on a different avenue of social interaction, right? Does that mean getting a permanent partner? Maybe. Does that mean whatever it means to you, you got to take advantage of this situation, okay? Don't try to live pre-COVID. It's never going to happen. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. Itaewon Sammy, King of Gangnam. I'm living the COVID life. I'm out.